Luis and John, thanks you all very much for allowing me to speak for him. Many of you may know and many of you may not. He had a pretty severe illness 2 weeks ago and is still recovering. He just can't stand and talk for very long. So he asked me to, hope you all understand that, and asked me to speak for him. And I've done this once, I tend to mix me and him up, not my opinions, but I talk like I'm speaking for him and then I say, but John said, so just bear with me. Thank you. John does support a new police department for 3 specific reasons. Currently, there is only one ingress and egress out of the police department unless the alley is not blocked by a utility vehicle, which is a lot of times in downtown Moscow. That can be very dangerous and really slow down response times. The past history of the police department is somewhat varied. For example, it used to be a dairy, and it also used to be the Moscow City Hall, and that's as far back as his memory goes. I'm sure people who lived here longer know it was something else. In other words, it was not set up as a police department, and it's not as efficient as a police department, and it's not big enough for our size town. And as the Moscow Police Department, a new Moscow Police Department does make sense economically, and would alleviate the ingress and egress issues, thereby increasing the efficiency and the response time of the police department. So he's very much in favor of the new police department for all of those reasons. Thank you very much.
Scott?
Once again, I'm here representing Brandy Sullivan. I want to thank you for allowing me to represent her today. There are several reasons that Moscow has been fortunate to be a safe and orderly community. Our police services are among them. Citizen surveys of those who have sought police assistance indicate 95 to 97% excellent to good ratings. The vast majority of police reports are for non-violent matters. Improving security and safety for our residents is always a priority, and our police department must be equipped with resources to respond to evolving challenges such as cyber crime. The recently established AARP Fraud Watch Network campaign is one example of such a resource, and we may soon need to budget for a second computer forensic detective to address this challenge. I support ongoing efforts to identify a site for a new police facility. Would like to explore outside funding sources for this while searching for an accessible, affordable location that will better meet the needs of our police force. I want to hear from residents to better understand their safety and security concerns and collaborate with the police force to learn what they need to address those concerns. Thank you.
Is the county's representative here? Okay. We're just going to go down the line. Use the microphone. Art, you're on. 1 minute. You're open to answer that question.
Okay, 1 minute to answer this one. Funding up the police is a 3-legged stool. You've got infrastructure, you've got officers themselves, and you've got the police station itself. So we need to look at all 3 of those. Currently, we funded 2 additional officers in the past 4 years, carrying across from a federal grant that we've received. We've also added an electronic crimes detective, and that's helped. And that brings us to the next issue, is where do you put all of these officers? You have officers around to address needs as needs arise, and currently, thankfully, Moscow is a very crime-free town. So when you do add officers, you got to have more room to put them, so we need to think very seriously and fund a new police station. We've been working on that around the edges, and it'd be good to see that project through. Also, funding out the infrastructure, providing the police with the equipment that they need to do their jobs is another project that's high on the list of to-dos, especially radio equipment. So we need to think of that too.
Anybody can speak so the mic working. I'm Walter Steed, and want to thank the AARP for giving us this opportunity to visit with you today. Between us, Mary and I have 5 grown children and 14 grandchildren. I moved to Lewiston in 1978 from the South and to Moscow in 1989. For the past 36 years, I've been a self-employed consultant, providing grant writing, project management services for Idaho cities and utility districts on public works projects. From the assigned question, in addition to a new police station, I would like to see us look at purchasing body cameras for our officers. They would cost about $50,000 for the cameras themselves and the other hardware, and we would also need an additional half-time person to manage the system. Currently, the Moscow police do not have them, while the Lake Tahoe Sheriff has had them for years. They have been proven to impact in a positive way police interactions with the public and can protect both the officer and citizens. Thank you.
I don't mind walking.
Okay, I'm close. Is that close enough for all of you to hear? My name is Gina Terusio, and I apologize for not wearing a tie today, but it's Vandal Friday, and I take my football pretty seriously. So there you are. Go Vandals.
Yeah, go Vandals.
So there are a couple things when I was considering the question that Louise submitted to us, there are a couple things that I need to see as a city council person. I try not to make a decision like that. First one is, what is our crime rate in Moscow? Where does it sit? Where does it look? What's the trajectory been over years and years and years? Also, what's our staffing? What is our staffing recommendation for a city of our size? And are we low or are we high? So I need those two pieces of information. But I would also then need time with the people who feel like Moscow isn't safe for whatever reason. I want to know what you think about it, Doc. I want to know what Rhonda thinks about it. And if it is something like cybercrime, I would totally support funding another position. If it's something like we need some body cameras to make sure. I have to stop, Marsha.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's been mentioned about Lee's Police Station. I mean, we are working very hard on that bond issue that's going to be coming forward to everybody this coming spring of 2018. So I want to give you a little bit of statistics for those of you out there. Citizen survey for violent crimes, 95% of the people that filled that survey out were happy and very satisfied with it. 90% on fires, I thought I'd throw that in there, and 83% on property crimes. These are all statistics that you can get online through our 2016 citizen survey. Also, some of the violent crimes, as time has gone on, have decreased over the last 4 years. And I brought with me some graphs. Don't have time to show you, but I can show every one of you afterwards how it declines and has been declining the last 4 years. And that's great news for Moscow. And the cyber officer that we did had just received a national award this past year. It's been terrific, and we're going to work on this. And yes, every 36.1% of our general budget goes to our police department, done in 2017, done in 2018, and so it raises in funds that we have to focus on.
I do believe we have a microphone working. I'm Rob Parrish. I know what makes me feel unsafe. I didn't feel real safe when I was working in Rwanda and Mozambique in the Middle East during wars. I'm pretty sure that Marcia didn't feel very safe when a group of bandits tried to hijack her car in Nairobi. What I don't know is perhaps what is making you feel unsafe. We've felt very safe here in Moscow and continue, but I'd like to know more about what you're feeling so that we know where to focus the efforts. I'm certainly open to increasing a budget, but I think we have to know where it is focused, and maybe there's resources that are currently out there that can be properly focused. So I'm open to it, but I want to know more about what all of you are feeling and what is making you feel unsafe, and then we'll continue the dialogue. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, I think, or close. The thing that is most important here is that the funding for any additional police officers will be from property tax. We do not want to burden our existing property tax any further. We have spread it just about as thinly as we can. What we need to do is attract businesses and developments that will pay their way and be property tax paying developments. With that, we gain additional funds to address the questions that will assist our local police force. The other thing that you really want to take a look at is AARP has a superior website. You will find something called Livable Communities. It's a task force that AARP has, and by golly, they have wonderful ideas for improving the improving police forces and other things.
Thank you all. This is addressed to the two new candidates, so that would be